Hello, hello, hello. I am in portrait tonight. Portrait view. I am just sewing the mouth so long while I'm waiting for everybody to appear. Unfortunately, the landscape view, hello, welcome. The landscape view is a bit small, as you can see, because apparently most people watch it on their phones. I'm the only one who always goes to my laptop to watch it there, apparently. So it's a bit small, as you can see. I'm just continuing here with this mouth so long. Welcome, Johan. Lovely to see you here. See you here. Hello. Okay, so let's, Johan. So let's start where we left off yesterday, which was, let me show you on this screen there. Please let me know if there's a lag in the view, if it's slowing down. But yesterday we finished doing the head. Right. We finished doing the head and we finished building the body. And you will see that whether you turn it like this or upside down, it gives the parrot a different character. So you can choose which one you prefer. So let's go to the cutting the body. Now, wonderful, thank you. Yuan says no lag. Now, usually I do it with fleece because the fleece is a bit safer because it stretches more. So if you have the pattern like this, I like to cut the beak on the fold because I don't want a seam in the middle of the bird. So we cut it on the fold this side, and then we're going to cut it all of the way around, make your markings, blah, 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 and then you're going to sew it. So here I have one that I already sewn. You can see. Now I suggest that you don't sew it all the way round. You only sew it halfway down the head. So on the pattern piece, there, you will see that I stop sewing here. That gives you a bit of play when you are fitting it to the foam. Then I usually do it machine stitching because I believe that it's stronger, but you can sew by hand as well. And then also I suggest that you sew it with big stitches first, and then you do the sewing on the machine. And then I'm just going to show you this part is the mouth. I'm going to sew the mouth around. Now this is very important that you do it first with hand stitching. You don't go immediately to the machine because it shifts. It moves out of your way, and then when you take it out, you see, oh, it's skew, or it has a lot of wrinkles where you didn't want any wrinkles, especially here in the mouth, in the corners of the mouth. Can you see? Is it very small? Johan, can you see, or is it too small? It's nice and big on my screen, but it's because I see the whole thing and you've got it on portrait. So, down. I wonder if it would be better if I sew it towards the camera like this. So here, let me just show you like this. Whoop, there I am. Okay, there you see. So I'm going to just sew it with big stitches all the way around. Yes, I can be clearly. I guess that's C here. Okay, then you're going to sew it all the way around. This is going to take a while, so please let me know where you're from. Where you're from and what you did today. Go around this. Okay. Sorry, it's taking as long as it takes. Da, 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 da. Almost all the way around, and just make sure that you are spacing it nicely across your fleece so that the one side of the mouth is not wider than the other side. Oh, from Mozambique, all the way from Mozambique. How is the weather there? In recent years, we've heard that it's not very calm and quiet there with all the uproars. Okay, then if you finish with it like this, almost done, almost done, I am almost done, almost done. Sewing it all the way around. As I say, I do it by hand. I sew it in by hand, but then very, very hot. Yes, here we have rain, so we cannot complain. Now it's all the way around. Let me just cut it over here. There we go. Now we have the mouthpiece like this. And usually now I will go to the machine and sew it on the machine with a very small seam. There are no seam allowances on this pattern. So be aware that it's actually, if you're going to sew it by hand, that's okay. But if you're going to sew with a machine, then you have to make very small seams, or you have to add it on when you do the cutting. Welcome, Stefani. Thank you very much. Yes, it's going to be very, very pretty. Now we open the mouth like this. And first we can fit it just to be safe. It's always safer to fit it. You can see there's a little totterkie here. This totterkie is going to go over the point of the beak. Okay, it's a totterkie, by the way. It's going to go over like this. And now you can scrunch the foam. It's going to bounce back, so don't be scared to muck it up like this and just get it in like this. You just want to have your hand inside, so like this. Stefani, how do you feel about the portrait view? My camera, I see this camera cannot switch to a portrait, so I'll have to look into that. See, like this. Is it not too small, Stefani, when it's like this, when it's portrait like this? So you first fit it on. This. Ta-da. There we go. It's like this. See? So now I've fitted it and it's fine. I can go on and I can add the glue, which is the tricky bit. Now don't lose hope when it doesn't look perfect the first time. It does take a few turns around the block to get it perfect, but you can manhandle it as much as you like just to get it nice and tight over the mouth. This. Now usually I will add some glue on the inner side of the mouth plate, and then add the covering and attach it while it's wet. Don't wait for the contact glue to dry on the mouth plate as well as on the inside of the mouth. Don't wait for it to dry, because you are going to have to move it around a bit to have a close, snug fit. Here is one that I've done already. You can see I like it so that the skin goes over and that the red doesn't end on the mouth's edge. So it's your preference, but that's the way the pattern has been developed as well. So now it's going like this. See, it's nice and firm. When you are covering it with the fleece, you can also put some contact glue over the foam here and around the cheeks, which you can press in when it's dry, so that you just get a bit more definition. So that's the head. If it's this foam, the fleece that I used here is very, very stretchy. So it's a very cheap fleece because it piles better. So it's actually better to buy the cheap one because it has a better pile to work with if you see closely. See the pill, sorry. It hides the seam better. So I'm gonna do this sewing. I'll do it on my own. On my own. When nobody's watching, I'll do it on my own. I'll do that seam. That's the back of the bird. Then for the body part, oh, that's the bird. The body part, this is the body pattern. You will see this side you have to put on the fold. So when you are cutting the fabric or the fleece, this side will go on the fold. Now, different from the head, because it has this part over the beak that you want to have snug and neat, it's better to do the fleece with the whole head and then add the fur later on. But for the body, it doesn't matter because the body, it can squish a bit and you can hide some mistakes if you have mistakes. So I'm going to cut that. I cut that directly from the foam or from the fur. Here it is. And as I said again, there are no seam allowances included because I think it's easier to just do it by hand. So I'm going to do the last seam here. And I'm just going to do the whip stitch, also known as the Henson stitch, but it's just a whip stitch that the voortrekkers went over the mountain with. It's nothing new. And since I'm doing it on the wrong side, I don't need to hook the one and go to the other side without people seeing it because it's not going to be seen anyway. It's on the wrong side. This is what we call a whip stitch. And as I said, we also call it the Henson stitch since the Muppets came out. But before that, Tommy Sunny had it in a tea bag. Across the mountains. Normal whip stitch. Whip stitch. There we go. That's it. Now, since you're not seeing me cutting the fur, I do want to say I don't like to cut it with a blade like most people do. I think it's easier to cut it with the scissors. So what you do is when you cut this, let me do like this. Hello, Neil. Welcome. You cut it on the back side like this. So I put the, I'm sorry, this camera is not very good. No, I'll change it. Okay, let me show you with the big camera. Okay, hang on. So you see, you're putting just the scissors just a small way in, like this, so that you're not cutting the pile. You're only cutting the back of the fur. I hope that is clear. Right. Okay. So then when we finish with this, so as I said, we cut this pattern like that. Now I suggest do not cut out the darks on the side because the fur and the foam and everything is a variable. So sometimes you cut it and then it's too small. So I'd rather not cut these ones out unless I'm sure it fits on my foam. Then I have my foam here and I'm starting with the tail. Put the tail in like this and just scrounge it up. Don't be scared. The foam is very strong. You can scrounge it up like this. Put your hand in and shake it, shake it, shake it. It should just fall into place. There's the tail. Oh, this fur is right. Okay, there it is. So that's the back of the bird. Although, yes, it's hard to see. Now, as you can see, whether the bird is, oh, I can't see. Oh, it's so bright you can't even see the outline because it's so bright. Anyway, oh, there it is. And then there is enough room here at the top for the pattern so that you can just glue it down. So what I usually do is I will cut about a centimeter, half an inch off the top so that I have less fur involved when I do the gluing. Yes. So now I do want the fur off. This. Oh. Lovely fur. And then I take my glue and I'm going to just glue it around the edge here because I want this to fold in. And if you want, you could have put a rim there of EVA foam just to make it a bit more sturdy, but I don't think I need it, so I'm not going to. Then I put some glue here on the top of the foam, and if you can see, on the top of the foam, and then also on the fur, on the inside of the fur. Try not to get fur everywhere, but the nature of the beast. Oh. And then just wait for it to dry a little bit, and then we're going to put it in, and then the neck is sort of neat. See? Oh, this camera angle is really tiny. Like this. Okay. I'm just going to fold it in, and I will press it down a bit later when the foam has dried. Okay, there it is. It's in. So there's my body. Let me show you this camera. So there's my body. You can see my body is there. Boom, 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 boom. There's the tail. And on the tail, you can add whatever you want. You want to put another fluffy bit there just to make it longer. You can. Let's put the body there. I must just remember to press down that glue when it's stiff. Now the head. So for the head, I can now use, oh, there we are. We're in the wrong camera. One piece. So we have the head like this. I don't want to put fur here, obviously. I want to put the fur over here. So I'm going to copy the pattern again on the fur, which I did. Now. Thank you, Murphy. Please. So I'm just going to cut the fur. I will only do this back part. So you will see there is an indication line there. So when you are done cutting the fur, of cutting the fleece, you can go ahead and cut this line because then you know, okay, the beak is this side and this side is where I want the fur. Or if you want another color fleece. I chose fur. And here it is. Let me just turn it up one more around again. And as you can see, I used the darts exactly as they are on the pattern. There's one dart going down like this. Sorry, it's really terrible. You can't see. And I added, I cut out a bit of green and replaced it with some yellow just to have a nice highlight on the top of the head. And with them, because I like machine sewing and I think it's stronger, I also added the neck, which is additional. You can just make the neck as long as you want your puppet to be. It's not included in the pattern. You can see whether you want it like this, maybe. Maybe you want a scrunched up neck like this, or you want a straight neck like I'm doing now. Right? Now I'm going to add it, put it over my puppet. And as I said, you mustn't be scared to squish the foam. That's the only way you're going to get it in. Squishing it in, squishing it in. And up that part. There we go. Okay, as you can see, I added some yellow too in the neck just for it to be nice and bright and colorful. I like colorful. Like this, you see? So if I do that camera again there, you can see there it is. It's already looking a bit like a puppet. Yes, I am so beautiful. And you can see the mouth is so nice and flexible because we use that thin plastic box for this. I think it's lovely. What do you think? Ain't it just beautiful? Yeah. Stop playing. Okay. Then I have another trick that I want to show you. If I have any for that. For the eyes, I can now already see where I want the eyes. And okay, sorry, this bit first. You can use anything to glue the head on. I like sewing it on, so I'm not going to do it now, but I will just sew it on here because I think it's neater. So I will sew it over here like this and make sure I get the jaw, the bottom jaw, and not let it stick in here. I want it to be on the outside of the jaw. If that makes sense. Okay? Oh, you look so pretty. Then the eyes. The eyes, you can do anything you want. I have these big eyes that I sort of like. Big eyes like this could work. Or I can use a smaller eye with some orange. You'll have to wait for this. I'll just post a picture of the finished puppet because I don't want to put the eyes on. It's too nerve-wracking. Right? Or you can have some orange fleas like this, make it look a bit sad. And what I do is I add some foam. This is just a Christmas bauble. It's very thin. So what I do is I add some foam on the inside because then it gives me a bit of a bigger area to glue it on. Because now I can add the glue here, and I know the whole surface of the ball is going to stick to the bird. You see there. So it's just a bit of foam, or you can even use upholstery foam. Use some cheap foam. Just put it in the eye like this. Stefani goes for the orange. Maybe we'll do the orange with the yellow. And what I do is I sew a piece of black fleece to the top lid fleece because I think it looks neater. And then I can glue it like this first, and then I will glue it onto my ball like this. Like this. And then put it on the bird like this. And you can change the look of the bird, but you're going to have to wait and see how pretty that's going to be. Then I just want to talk about the feet. Now for the feet, they are in the pattern, they look pretty complicated, but they are not. So this is the sole of the foot. Take this away so it's nicer to see. This is the sole of the foot. And this is the foot pattern. On the foot pattern, it says, put it on the fold in that little bit. And this little bit you should sew. And then don't cut this immediately. You can cut this. I will show you what I mean. When you've got your piece now like this, I like to first sew on the leg. Here's my leg piece. Okay, here's my leg piece. So I'm going to fold it in half, and I'm going to stick it to where I sewed the foot together, like this. And then I stretch it out so that it reaches the part where the foot comes together at the back, like this. So that's where I'm going to sew it, and I sew the other side too. Like this. Stretch it so that it fits in. Like this. Another one. Like this. And then I sew the leg to the foot. I sew the leg to the foot. When I've done that, I sew the leg closed as well as the back of the foot. Da-da-da-dum. Now this is marvelous if you want to work in YouTube. This is a great, great tip. Like this, you see? Ta-da. And then when you've done that, the leg is onto the foot, the top of the foot, then you're going to stick it onto your sole of the foot. And then you can open this, then you can cut open this line. Because you don't want to have the foot too big, then you don't know where the leg goes and the placement's all wrong. But if you follow the pattern, then it's going to be at the right place. Yeah, there. And as you develop, you can also make an extra toe. Why not? Make it 2 toes, but I like 2 toes. You can make it 3 toes. Thank you, Stefani. Yes, I will show you quickly what I have here for there's the pattern. It's available on my website on Poppet Puppets for $55. And I ask, please, that you don't share it because it takes so long to develop a pattern like that. But you're welcome to go there and download it for yourself. Now, this is what the feet can look like. So what you do is after you've put your foam into your foot pattern, after you've sewed it, see there's the bottom, you can tie thread around to make it a bit segmented like this, because I like the look of that. And then it's very easy to highlight it a bit with some marker, and actually I found that sanitizing spray works just as well as as alcohol. So, see there. So you can see I just traced with a marker. I traced the lines where I had my thread, and then I colored it a bit with I faded it with the spray and earbud. I just rubbed it a little, rub to just loosen it up, make it a bit faded a bit. And these are just nails that I made from felt. Oh, this is going to go on the bottom of my eyes. So there, if you see the puppet like this, here it is. And then I'm going to put the feet. I sew the feet on like this on the bottom of the bird. There, on the bottom of the bird. Oh, it's gonna look so pretty. Can't wait. And here I have one. See, this is where I put the this is another way to do it. You can add glue on your phone and then cover your foot with the wet glue, and then you tie it up like this. Because now if I loosen, because now the wool made the fleece stick onto the contact glue, right? So if I take it off now, you can see there's the line that I want. And now it won't disappear. Nobody can cut off or lose the thread that's there, that's very thin, because you don't want people to see it. Oh, sorry, you can't see. Yes, sorry, darling. So sorry. So there's the wool. Now I can cut the wool. Does that make sense? Do you understand what I mean? So I first glued the foot, the foam, and then I covered it with the fleece. And then I tied the wool where I put the glue. So now nobody can see that there's no thread there, there's no wool. And then I take my marker. Then I take my marker, not the green one, and I go through the valleys with my marker like this. And then I take my earbud. And I make it wet with my sanitizing liquid, and then I just rub it. Rub. Just rub it like this. See, the color comes off. Then it looks nice and blended. You can go up and do it here if you wanted to. That's okay. And that's it. Now for the other bird, for this one, I just want to show you. If you have a bird like this, so now this one I covered with the fleece, and I thought, oh, it looks okay, but it's not exactly what I wanted. Then you take something like a towel or a serviette or just a very kitchen towel that's just very thin paper, and then you stick it onto your doll or your puppet where you want it, like this. So I've decided now this blue isn't wow enough. I want to change this blue. I want to add a whoosh to it. So then I put my paper on, and no need to reinvent the wheel. You put the center over the center line so that you know where the center is, not like I did there. Put the center over the center line. I mean of the serviette, the paper one. Put it to the back, and I fasten it here with a pin, like this. And now, so I effectively want to replace this blue with some nice fur. And then I take my pen, stick it with the glue. Stick it with the glue. Are you talking about the feet? Stefani, you're talking about the feet, sticking it with glue. I'll answer you now if you give that to me. Anyway, so this one I make holes so that I don't hit my eyes with the fur, and I just go down with a pin where I think the fur would look nice. So if I take it off, I can see I take it off, I can see where my pattern should go. There's my holes. You can't see it, but I can see it. So I see, okay, there's the center of my bird, and then the fur should go like this and this, like this, because I can see the holes of the pin. And there's where it ended, so I want it to go like this. Oh, this is terrible. You see, there's the line, and this is the center mark that I had. So I'm going to fold it double on my fur as well. I'm going to fold it double like this, and then I'm going to cut it out. Then I have my pattern that I can use to prettify my bird, to have some, yeah. You stick it with the glue. No, you're just sticking it with a pin. You're just sticking the paper with a pin onto your, wait, you can't see. Yes, you're just pinning it because you just want to create a pattern piece for yourself. And then you're going to cut it out, and just check it before you go to your fur. I'm cutting it like this. It's really stupid because I could have cut it half like this. Oh my goodness. Beautiful idea. Sweet. And here. You do whatever you want, whatever form you want, whatever form you want to have the fur in. So it's like this. Now I just check. Am I good? No, it's the wrong side. I can check. Okay, it's a bit too wide. Or am I going to keep it like this? Or I'm going to try the other way around. Might be better. You see, now I have a pattern that I can use to cut the fur, whether I want yellow or whatever. And that's it. That's actually all I want to show you. Ta-da! Yeah! And for this one, I think I'm going to use these vinyl eyelashes. They're nice and bulky. Because they stay like this. They're nice and strong as well. I am so pretty. I just need long hair. Yeah. And that's it. That's all to show. You will see if you have your puppet like this. It's not Rod Stewart, but I understand that it looks like Rod Stewart. Like this. You can brush the hair any way you like, and then just whoosh it up like this again. It's pretty. Yes, I can't wait to have a show. And that's it. Oh, no, I want this view. Solo loud. There we go. Oh, thank you all for watching. Am I on Gaussian blur again, or is this me au naturel? I can't remember. Anyway, thank you for watching again. And as I said, my pattern's available on pocketpuppets.com for $55. And I'm there if you need any advice. You can just ask me. Let me know by email. My email address is, I will respond to your email address, and you will hear from me. So if you have any problems, you can just ask as well. Thank you very much for watching, and watch this space for the completed parrot. We'll have him singing a song tomorrow. Thank you. But the next demo, I'll check Facebook. I will let you know. Bye. Have a good evening.